2.58 million years ago. The Pleistocene, or Ice Age, begins. 200,000 years ago. The first humans, Homo sapiens, emerge in East Africa. Neanderthals, Homo neanderthalensis, are living in Europe and West Asia. 125,000 to 45,000 years ago. Groups of Homo sapiens expand out of Africa. 50,000 to 30,000 years ago. Denisovan hominins are present in south-central Russia. 45,000 years ago. Humans have spread across the globe and inhabit most of Eurasia and Australia, which they have reached by boat from Southeast Asia. 40,000 years ago. Paleolithic people start to create art, sculptures of animals and cave paintings, and artifacts, jewelry and decorative tools and weapons. The earliest currently known examples of art in Europe are made, such as the sculpture of the Lion Man of Hohensteinstadel, Germany. 35,000 years ago. The first examples of human figurines emerge, usually representing women and carved or sculpted from bone, ivory, terracotta, or stone. 26,000 years ago. A triple burial is carried out at Dolní Věstonice, in the Czech Republic. 23,500 years ago. The Irene Candide prince is buried in Italy, richly adorned with dentalium shell jewelry. 23,000 years ago. A period of intense cold, known as the Big Freeze, occurs. People and animals in northern regions die out or migrate southward. 18,000 years ago. The last ice age reaches its height. Homo floresiensis fossils date from this time. 15,000 years ago. Humans start to arrive in North America, either across the land bridge connecting Asia and North America, now the Bering Strait, or by sea. 13,000 years ago. Humans are present near Clovis, New Mexico, but may not be the continent's first humans. 11,000 to 10,000 BCE. There is evidence of cultivation of crops and domestication of animals in West Asia. 9,700 BCE. The Pleistocene ends, marking the beginning of today's relatively warm and stable climates, the Holocene. 9,000 BCE. Jericho, in the modern-day West Bank, is settled. To this day it remains one of the oldest continuously inhabited towns in the world. Maize farming begins in Mesoamerica. 900 to 800 BCE. Agriculture becomes established in the Near East. 8,800 BCE. Farming lifestyles are well established across West Asia. 8,000 BCE. Cultivation and domestication begin in East Asia. 7,500 BCE. A settlement at Catalhoyuk, central Turkey, is established. Evidence of complex rituals indicates social cohesion. 7,000 BCE. Initial colonization of Crete. 700 to 6,500 BCE. Agriculture spreads west into Europe via Cyprus, Greece, and the Balkans. 5,000 BCE. Sea level reaches near modern levels. Low-lying land is submerged. There is evidence of copper smelting in Serbia, and the wheel is invented in the Near East, probably for the production of pottery rather than for transport. 4,500 BCE. Uruk in Mesopotamia is the first settlement large enough to be called a city. 4,000 BCE. Civilizations develop in Mesopotamia, in the Tigris-Euphrates Valley, modern-day Iraq, Syria, and Kuwait, where irrigated agriculture is established. 3800 BCE. Upper and Lower Kingdoms of Egypt established along the Nile Valley. 3500 BCE. The earliest cities are built in Mesopotamia. Development of the Indus Valley civilizations. Beginning of the Bronze Age in Crete. 3350 BCE. Stone circles erected in West and North Europe. 3100 BCE. Narmer unifies Upper and Lower Egypt, becoming king of the first dynasty. Egyptian hieroglyphs are prevalent. 3000 BCE. Cuneiform script, one of the world's oldest writing system, is invented in Sumer, in southern Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. 2700 BCE. The first stone pyramids are constructed as monumental tombs in Egypt. 2680 BCE. Khufu begins construction of the Great Pyramid in Giza. It is the largest pyramid in history. 2500 BCE. Stones are raised at Britain's Stonehenge, at the center of an earthwork enclosure constructed 500 years previously. The stones are later rearranged. 2000 BCE. The last mammoths are thought to have died out on Wrangel Island, Russia. Shang dynasty builds the first cities in China. 1900 to 1700 BCE. The Indus Valley civilization collapses. The reason is unclear, but the most likely explanation is a combination of crop failure and a decline in trade with Egypt and Mesopotamia. There is also some evidence of flooding due to a change in the course of the Indus River. 1800 BCE. Alphabetic writing, Proto-Sinaitic script, based on hieroglyphs, emerges in Egypt. It is the ancestor of most modern alphabets. 1640 BCE. Massive eruption of volcano Thera devastates Minoan colonies and coastline. 1600 to 1046 BCE. Shang dynasty rules. 1500 BCE. Rise of Olmec culture in Mesoamerica. Deeper stratification of Minoan culture. Local administration is devolved to large villas. 1480 BCE. Thutmose III conquers Syria, extending his empire as far as the Euphrates. 1450 BCE. The Mycenaean invasion of Crete. 14th to 13th centuries BCE. Mycenaean settlement at Athens, with fortification of the Acropolis. 1200 BCE. Vedic aka Aryan culture extends across northern and central India. 1200 to 800 BCE. Oral Vedic traditions are written down in Sanskrit as the Vedas.